Hi, Peter. How are you? How was your weekend?
Not too bad. Yours?
It was pretty good, thank you.
Good.
So, sorry I didn't have a chance to catch up with you Friday. It was a busy day, but I know that you were having a meeting with that client. That's been a bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how did that go?
It went well. They don't seem to understand what we need from them, I guess, as a client. So yeah, maybe it didn't go so well, actually. I got a little bit irritated with them.
Okay. So maybe can you expand on that and tell me a little more?
Well, we sat down and had a meeting, and we talked about their commitments to the organization and payments for the services rendered and that kind of thing. And they just seem to not want to participate on the level that our company needs from them, I think.
Okay. So are there some next steps that have been set up?
Not yet. I put it back in their court that this is sort of the way it is, and if they don't like it, then maybe we shouldn't work together.
Okay, and how was that communicated?
Verbally.
Verbally, okay. Can you expand on, I know we've, at something that we've been working on a little bit, we talked about this a couple months ago at a performance review. There have been, some of the verbal communications are challenging, and I know that in those situations it can be really difficult to be managing emotion. Maybe can you talk to me about what was being communicated and how was it being communicated to the clients? Because that's a difficult message to deliver.
Sure. What was being communicated and how, hey? Well, you know my style. I mean, I don't like to pull any punches and beat around the bush, so I kind of told them the way it was, and I'm not exactly sure how they took it, but maybe they weren't totally impressed, I suppose, with my directness. But it was left that they get to think about it for a while, and we'll talk in time.
Okay. Was there anything specific that led you to believe that they weren't happy with how things were left?
Yeah, the tone of the meeting, I suppose. There's a little bit of frustration on both sides, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Stephanie, I'm kind of curious. Why are you asking me all these questions? I mean, did the client contact you or something? Is there an issue? I'm generally know how to handle these things, but you're asking some pretty poignant questions here.
You're right, I am asking some pointed questions, Peter. I guess I know that this has been a really sensitive issue, and this is a client that we want to make sure that we try to maintain relations with. As a service organization, we have to have that customer service orientation, and this is something that we identified a couple of months ago as we talked about, but I have to tell you, I've also had some feedback from folks within the organization about some challenging conversations you've had recently. And so I think I'm feeling sensitive around this, but wanting to ensure that if for you to be successful in this career, it is about maintaining and developing good relationships. And we talked a little a couple months ago about how might we find some resources to help you do that. And I want to pursue this to save this particular agreement, but also for future development.
Okay, I mean, I hear you, but I've been successful. I've got hundreds of successes to my name in this career. It's probably Dave from above, eh? I mean, that guy just doesn't like me. He's got it in for me. And is he coming down on you or what?
He's not coming down on me, and I don't agree with that perspective. So you may feel that way, and I think that it's valid. We can explore that. But he has shared with me some feedback, and it is up to me then to come to you to say, look, I want to see you develop in the most professional and positive way possible. But I think that perhaps it's time that we need to start looking at, what's generating some of this, the anger and the quick responses when you're feeling pressed in a situation.
Fair enough. I guess maybe I just want to get the job done. I mean, it's this client, in my estimation, I hear what you're saying that you want to keep them, but if there's a client unwilling to pay, I don't necessarily think we should keep them. But I guess I'm working on communicating better. Yeah, I suppose that's my personality, and maybe that's what's generated my success too, is that I just don't beat around the bush. I get right to it and get results.
Yeah, and I think in many situations that's absolutely the case. You have shown incredible talent. You've got great strengths in terms of managing many relationships. What I observe though is when you're being pushed, when you feel like you're being pushed into a corner or challenged, that your back can get up very quickly. And what I notice is other people respond in kind. Might there be an opportunity to explore some other ways of reacting that may feel very counterintuitive, but in fact may be a way that we can generate some more positive outcomes?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we might as well. I'm not very good at that. I mean, I'm kind of an older guy set in my ways, but you know, if you have any suggestions, I'm willing to do it. I mean, I've always liked working with you. You're right, I'm not thrilled about the leadership above you, but I like the organization. I want to do well. I think I have done well. Anyway, I suppose we could break this one down and see what we should do about it.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
So I've heard about this course, actually. It's around effective listening, and I think it would be something that would be really valuable for you to take.
A course? What course? I mean, I think I can listen pretty well.
Yeah, but I think that there's a difference between when you look at listening and effective listening that's around active listening, be able to reiterate back, think about the emotion that's involved in a conversation, as well as just the words that are being said.
What course is it? Do you have a title? Because I've heard of a few of them, and they seem kind of junior for me.
Well, this one's called Active Listening for Effective Communication.
Okay, and you really think that I need to do something like that?
I think that given some of the challenges that we've identified within our performance review, and then some of the challenges I'm hearing about within the organization, this might be a good opportunity, yeah.
Geez, I don't know, Stephanie. I mean, it's kind of like you're treating me like a rookie now. I need to go back to the beginning and learn all the stuff that I've been doing for 8 years at this organization.
It's not about relearning, Peter. Many of the things that you do you've got excellent skills. I think this communication, though, is something that we've identified as a challenge within relationships. When you get into conflict, there's really a sense of you get your back up. And I think going back to the basics around effective communication is around active listening.
See, you know, for the few clients that we lose because of that, wouldn't you say my track record is speaking volumes on its own of the successes I'm having?
Yeah, your track record's good, but you know, I think that we talked about this a couple months ago. You committed that you would look to take some action. I haven't seen that action yet, and I think that this course is a good opportunity.
Well, I wasn't thinking a course. I mean, that just. I don't know. I'm a little bit insulted by that
well,
idea.
Certainly my intention wasn't to insult you, but you know, if you don't like that idea, maybe you have some ideas that you could share with me.
I mean, geez, I think things like this. I mean, just check in and talk about clients every once in a while, and maybe you can tell me who are the most important ones, and I'll try to be a little bit softer around them or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure that's effective. I don't think that that's going to be an effective plan of action. It's this is kind of the course that we've been following for the last few months, but I'm hearing about more recent, you know, discussions that you've had where it's left some people feeling uncomfortable. So I think we need to be more proactive in approaching this challenge.
Well, it seems like you've got it all figured out. I'm not sure I agree, though.
Yeah, I don't think I have it figured out, but I'm looking for those ideas from you then. If you're not amenable to the course, what are the other ideas that you've got?
Well, how about I think about it for a little while?
Okay, that's fair. What I'd
if
like...
you can send me information about the course, that would
Sure.
be good too, because then I could see if it's something that I'm willing to do.
Okay, sounds good. Could we set a meeting for Wednesday? And I'd like for you to come with your ideas at that time, and I'll send you information about the course, and I'll do some other looking and come with some other ideas too.
I can do that. I got a lot of work to do, but
I know you do.
I'll make this a priority
Yep.
for you. No problem, Stephanie.